When we do tastings, we always have people do the absinthe taste last, because when it hits your tongue, it's so different than really a vodka or a gin that it's hard to go back and taste a white spirit afterwards. Philadelphia Distilling is the first craft distillery in the state of Pennsylvania. I had been in the retail business in New York City and had started a cosmetics company. And in 2005, my nephew, Robert Cassell, who was our master distiller, approached me with the idea that craft distilling was, at that point, in 2004, where microbrewing was in the mid-'80s.
My name's Robert Cassell. I'm the master distiller at Philadelphia Distilling, and I'm a dude.
Our distilling history goes back really to the founding of America, but unfortunately there wasn't really much absinthe history in Pennsylvania or Philadelphia, and instead of making something up, we really named it after our sister city, New Orleans, or more specifically the French Quarter, where absinthe has its American roots.
To be an absinthe, a true absinthe, you have to have three main ingredients: Grande Wormwood, Fennel, and Anise.
If you don't like that anise or that dark, that dark licorice flavor, no matter what you do with absinthe, it's not going to appeal to you. On the other hand, if you love that flavor, this is like liquid gold.
I love it in a Bloody Mary. The absinthe, I mean, all the richness that it has, with like a little bit of like horseradish and pepper with the tomato juice. It's one of those cocktails that on Sunday afternoon truly takes you into Sunday fun day.
There's so many stories, mostly because of the Bohemian writers and authors and painters that were known to consume absinthe. And at one point in France, there was more absinthe drunk than wine. Soon after that, the wine industry caught on to this trend, and what they did was they made up a lot of myths and stories about people hallucinating and people doing crazy things like murdering their neighbor and such.
This is Grande Wormwood. This is what people always say makes a real absinthe absinthe. This is the mythological herb.
When you distill Grande Wormwood, you come up with a compound called thujone, and that was the compound that was rumored to make people hallucinate. It was proven just 5 or 6 years ago not to be factual. Generally, you want to drink absinthe with it diluted 4 or 5 parts water to 1 part absinthe.
You know, absinthe, I mean, well, making any type of distilled spirit, you're always starting with a raw ingredient. It could be corn, wheat, rye, barley. You're taking the spirit, putting it up into the still, and then in our still, we'll actually put in our whole first set of initial botanicals. You know, you're basically making this alcohol like tea.
Most times, Americans in particular like their absinthe a little bit sweet. So we use a serrated spoon, and this one's quite decorative, but you at home can use a fork. A sugar cube goes right on top, and the absinthe fountain allows us to drip cold water very slowly over the sugar cube and into the absinthe. This is both diluting the spirit and sweetening at the same time. What you'll notice as the water enters the absinthe, the spirit itself will become cloudy, and they call that the louche. And really what we've made here is the classic absinthe cocktail. Cheers. The absinthe consumer still is one that is artistic and creative. There are celebrities obviously interested in it. One notable is Marilyn Manson. He has his own line of absinthe. Yes, maybe some of the young college kids that thought they could hallucinate have tapered off in terms of sales volume, but what's taking place is these people that enjoy a really interesting cocktail and a creative spirit and really building their arsenal to make interesting cocktails at home.
Cheers. Cheers.